Welcome to GEMS Forums in collaboration with Piaget. Today, we are honored to be joined by Her Royal Highness Princess Noor Alfaisal, a visionary champion of Saudi design and cultural heritage. With us also is Nouf AlMoneef, a creative force shaping the future of art and design through bold storytelling. And Ammar AlAndar, an interior designer whose artistic sensitivity and human depth continues to inspire our creative landscape. Welcome to our first edition of GEMS Forums. It's a pleasure having you all with us today.
Thank you.
Sharaftuna. Our first guest is Her Royal Highness Princess Noor Alfaisal. Welcome, Princess Nourah.
Thank you.
Nouf AlMoneef and Ammar AlAndar.
Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure. Starting, maybe going back to the topic of art as a new currency. A different side of the conversation, if you don't. What are certain elements that you think need to be addressed when it comes to art as a new currency?
I think there are lots of people, or there are lots of ideas right now as all these new technologies are coming out about what is going to be or what can be manufactured artificially and what cannot be manufactured artificially. I think, whatever you say, creativity can be a repetition. So if something already exists, your AI or whatever is going to be able to repeat it, to do it. But that point of inspiration is, I think, solely human. And I think that's where the value is. So creating something new is unique to the human soul, as it were. And I think that's where the value is.
Absolutely. Nouf, so tell us a bit more about your role with Noor Riyadh and Riyadh Art.
Riyadh Art. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. First of all, I joined Riyadh Art 5 years ago as an advisor. And there was this initiative or this festival called Noor Riyadh. That's where I joined, and I became the leader or the director of the whole festival since it started 2021. We are in our 5th year, alhamdulillah. It has been very successful 4 years, and inshallah a very successful 5th year.
To say the least.
Sorry?
To say the least, mashallah.
It's the highlight of everyone's calendar.
We welcomed more than 9 million visitors throughout the 4 past years. We showcased more than 450 artworks by almost 400 artists. We had more than 2,000, 3,000 activities throughout the 4 years, not in only one event. What is my role? Starting from curation, production, comms, community engagement, the whole thing from A to Z. There is me and a full army of amazing people and creative people that they work on this project. Without them, this project will not have been successful as it is right now. And without our higher management and without the vision of His Royal Highness, this whole festival wouldn't have become where it is right now.
It's incredible. I've witnessed it myself, and it's amazing how it's come full circle. The idea of exterior art is so inclusive, and so it's just mesmerizing. So I commend you for it.
And that's where we come to support public art in general. So Riyadh Art is one of the largest public art initiatives in the world, and we are aiming, or the vision or the mission of Riyadh Art is to have more than 1,000 public art across the city of Riyadh, and to make Riyadh the most livable cities in the world within public art. Noor Riyadh is just a small niche festival just to enhance this project, this amazing project. And yeah.
Fantastic. Ammar?
I'm going to take this in a different turn. After 35 years of experience, I'm not going to mention the things I've been through, but I envision myself as an ongoing growing tree. And I keep carrying on new fruits and sharing it with the others, virtually and literally and spiritually. And we need this at this time and age. When you mentioned art as a new currency, art is not a new currency. Art has always been affected by whoever is really creating it, for who is being created, and how is it going to be used. It depends on the level of art it is. So it can be for the new generation looked into as a new currency, but really if you look at it throughout history, it's there, and it's always been valid. Again, for me to stay away from what you call it, materiality and all that. I believe in spirituality. I believe in nature and the power of nature. I believe I became a tree and I have to help others and support others from this ground where I really have my roots, and I believe this is where it's all my feed, and of course with all the neighboring lands and people and culture, because we are a melting pot, as we are multi different cells. We're not one single person. I don't know how many millions we are, but each person is a millions of things. So, jewels, design, theater, lighting, it's all put together. Art, poetry, cats, name it. We're all here together.
Absolutely. I mentioned community. How important is community to art and art to community?
I think community is maybe, to my mind, probably.
And maybe we can also get a little bit of more information. Sorry to cut you off.
It's okay.
Information on Adhlal for design and how that is bringing a community together.
So Adhlal actually, the byproduct of Adhlal has been the community, and that started right at the beginning when we did our first industry report. And it was, I have to say at the time, for me, it was a surprise byproduct. I honestly thought that we would have to work a lot harder to get people to commit or to but people wanted to be part of something. Community wanted to connect. They wanted to learn from each other. They wanted to support each other. And so I think for me, that's one of the blessings of being in this place at this time. I mean, most of the people in the room, we all in one way or another know each other. We all in one way or another support each other. We've all been friends for how long? I mean, I remember when Nouf came to Nadi Spagat, لما كنت في Nadi Spagat, to see if they could have Noor Riyadh on the grounds of Nadi Spagat.
You wanted locations.
Yeah, so that was 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago. فيعني وكلنا إلى الآن يعني دايم ندعم بعض. This community, it's not about whether it's important or not. It exists and it's here, and it is the engine from which creativity comes. It's by those interconnections. It's by people learning from each other. It's by an interior designer, an art curator. Well, you're everything. I can't pin you down as one particular thing. You know what I mean? And I'm a jewelry designer, but I also focus on research. You were a fashion designer, and now you're like a media mogul. Everybody in here is like 2 or 3 different things. And it's community and interaction, I think, that fuels us.
Absolutely. Nouf, there's also, mashallah, an international community that you mentioned has interest in coming into Saudi Arabia as well. How does that work when you articulate the work of incredible artists here, and you travel and you come back? What is the reaction that you get?
So we started back in 2022 when we decided to make art on a global scale and reach Noor Riyadh globally and internationally. So we started on, let's do an international launch of Noor Riyadh back in 2021 during the art weeks. So we targeted London as a start during Freeze London. It was a huge success. And then we continued doing London again the second year.
And even wearing Muhammad Khoja t-shirt as well.
No, not now. That was not back in 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, that was now. Now I'm going to tell you the story about
Okay.
that. And then we did it in 2023 in Paris during Art Basel and in Frieze. 2024, we launched the book of Noor Riyadh in London with Maison Assaline, and it was a huge success.
That was beautiful, actually.
It was.
It really was.
Thank you for joining us the other day. And this year, we said, let's go beyond. So we targeted New York. It was a different market. I swear, guys, يعني, the amount of passion they wanted to know about Saudi, it was crazy. I didn't expect it at all. They really wanted to visit. They were so happy that we were there, especially that Her Royal Highness Princess Rima came to the event, and she spoke, and she said beautiful words about light and art in I cannot remember the quotes exactly.
In
but
a dark time.
In our dark times, there is light and there is creativity, and there are the people that show creativity. So it was so beautiful. There are a lot of people, when we left New York, there are a lot of people said, emailed us, we want to come to Noor Riyadh. Not hosting, we will come under our own expenses and see what you are doing in the region, and your country, which is so beautiful. Plus, on the international launches, we are doing something called the Noor Riyadh capsule. We did it once back in 2021 with Art Jameel in Hay Jameel in Jeddah. And we said this year, why don't we go globally? And we did it in Venice during the closing of Venice Biennale. So here, when it comes to craftsmanship, here when we said, no, Saudi artists need to collaborate with Italian artists because it's in Venice. So how we did it was we made Abdurrahman al-Shahid, the artist. He always works with calligraphy. So we told him this artwork, اللي هي الحب والسلام, we said, why don't we collaborate with the masters of glass, the Murano Island in Venice, and create something very beautiful with this art piece. He uses neon. So he said, why don't you use glass, Murano glass, doing this art piece?
Spectacular.
It is a spectacular piece. It is being showcased right now in the foundation of Querini Stampalia, one of the biggest foundations in Venice. We have another artwork by Safiya bin Zagar, Allah yarhamha. And there are two artworks by international artists, Asian international artists, that is being showcased there. All of these 4 artworks are being displayed now and is going to be displayed in a larger scale in Noor Riyadh in the 20th of November.
You can't tell us any more than that, though, can you?
Surprises. Wait until the 20th of November. It's going to be spectacular. Inshallah, we're targeting. Let's continue.
Get the sneak peek.
Regarding the community, how communities connect. Noor Riyadh is all about connectivity. It's about visitors, artists, curators, locals, all connecting through light. And the fact that we are bringing art to the public spaces, we want people just to leave their houses and walk to the park or walk to the metro station. And because this year we are targeting the metro station. So we have 3 main metro stations: STC station, محطة قصر الحكم, and the National Museum station. And they are all connected in a way because قصر الحكم is where منطقة قصر الحكم, where الدحو is, where المصمك is. So it's all connected with each other. We have the National Museum station where المركز التاريخي is. And then we have STC station, which is the new modern station is. And then We have JAX, of course, because JAX is the creative district.
Okay, fantastic.
That's a lot of heavy job, huh?
Yeah, it's
أنا عارفة هي كيف قاعدة هنا
full
قدامنا.
on.
We're trying.
Good for you.
MashaAllah. Wanted to also shed light on the concept that it's thanks to Piaget that we have this opportunity today to have this fantastic discussion. Grateful to be able to share so much creativity in one room. And thank you all for coming. But Piaget is about precision, about timing, about understanding the craft, but it's also about when things move so fast, how can we maintain quality when technology is moving so fast?
When you have quality as a vision, everything falls in. Because I'll give you an example. If I'm carrying a heavy load of things that I know that it has to be done or delivered in a certain way, which is all about quality. So anything that does not fit into what we're doing is out of our scope, goes out of the quality. So we have to concentrate on quality first, and everything will follow. Whether it's jewels, Piaget, this gathering. I remember when we met with Princess Noorah for the first time for Adhlal, I think she spent 3 hours talking about it, and I was like, okay, how and where is this going to work, and who? We have it inside of us, inside every one of us. And I am sure we're not, because we're sitting here on the bench talking about it, I am sure the other people, the attendees, have got more heavier knowledge than to share, and it's all about quality. And this is what makes Saudi Arabia unique in the international market level, if you want to say, because we only want quality. We don't want to go less than, because we know that quality lives, quality remains, quality sounds better in terms of a reflection.
It's a timeless currency that remains.
Timeless currency, and that's it.
No, fantastic. Princess Noorah, what are your thoughts on how can we maintain a sense of quality, a sense of excellence in a time where everything is moving so fast, and there's AI, there's the approach of doing things at mass scale, and how can we maintain that sense of quality?
First of all, I think just following on from what Ammar was talking about, I think it's core to our DNA that we understand that no matter how fast life goes, Saudi people generally are slow. And I mean that in the best possible way. I mean it in the way that
we like to take our time. Yeah.
Like to take our time. We like to have things done right. We appreciate and we understand when things are done right.
Yeah.
It's in our culture. It's in how we host people in our homes, how we prepare things for them, how we welcome guests from other countries, and we want to show them the things that we do and the things that we're proud of. I don't necessarily see that it's something that we have to do. I think it's who we are, and I think that won't change. I think there's a lot of this kind of feeling that like AI or whatever is so scary. It's so like this new world, and it's a tool. And if you go back and you think about how things changed so completely when the Industrial Revolution happened, it's just another revolution. But there was art before then. There was art during, there was art after, and it will continue. Human beings need that appreciation of something that is beautiful, of something that is creative, whether it's in producing it or in experiencing it or in sharing it. It's part of us, and that's not going to change. Some of us are looking at how to protect that part of us maybe a bit more. So there might be an interesting conversation later over there, I'm just saying. But I think it's important. It's important, and I think it's very, I don't think it's something that we should worry about. I think it's natural. We should just, follow the natural way of
embrace
things.
It. Yeah. Nouf, what are your thoughts?
So I totally agree. Yani, even with them, they ask me about time. For example, Noor Riyadh takes a year of curation, production, the artists, everything, the things that I spoke about. But experiencing it takes only seconds within 17 days. So like time is meaningful of where we are right now and where.
أنا لازم أرد عليكي. Okay, it takes 16 seconds to experience it, but the memories last a lifetime.
Absolutely, yes. هذا اللي كده بقول. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The memories, the joyful moments that we create, that's what matters. So yeah.
Fantastic. Ammar, in the world of evolution and progress and modernity, how can we still hold on to our tradition, but moving forward? What are your thoughts?
Very simple. People think it's complicated. Any human who has been built on good values, those values are built in. It's part of the skin, part of the DNA, part of the color of our eyes, and so on. So of these values of being good, and all these good values, if they are being nourished from childhood, something good is going to happen, I bet. If you have the right building blocks of these items or values, those building blocks keeps growing anyway. So I realized that much later in life, when we were young or like growing up, teenage and all of this until 20s and 30s. But once you realize how important are the values that we live in and the culture, the value of the culture, the value of our religion, the value of our belief and all of this, and the value of our spirituality, again, they're all just simple building blocks. Once you build it and you have a strong foundation, you can build a castle.
To add to that, I think all of us see in other parts of the world, unfortunately, what happens when people let go of those values.
I don't want to talk negative about them, but
no, I will.
I just came back from Japan, and I have to say, in Japan, I saw how really they hold dearly to their values. And the most amazing thing, they also added another layer of culture. Not the predominant culture, but there was several subcultures, but organized because they have values.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's very simple.
It's not complicated.
No,
I agree.
Once you have it inside you.
I came back a changed person after I went to Japan, and the reason why I became a designer is because of Yohji Yamamoto. He's one of the first to take his tradition, modernize it, and globalize it. And it was amazing kind of association of fashion and respecting the craft, respecting the culture.
And I think this idea of separating your culture from modernity is ridiculous, to be honest. There's no reason why it should be separate at all. It makes no sense to me why we create these kind of boxes and if you're modern, this has to be in there like that. And if heritage and culture is important, then you must be old-fashioned, and this is how you have to do it. I don't understand these boxes or frameworks we put around ourselves.
It's funny because the younger generation, like my nephew, for example, in the 90s, we weren't so much about supporting local, but now we are very much so. And it's very impressive to see how the values also are still sticking towards that.
I'll tell you something. I did a talk a few days ago, just before the Fashion Week, and there was a young student. There were students in the room, and she was talking about how she was finding it difficult because her evolution of culture and heritage was rebelling. And I'm like, why do you use the word rebelling? Why can't we use words like evolving? I don't understand why it has to be rebellion. it's evolving. You're changing something, but that's okay. You're allowed to change it. It's yours.
Yeah.
So it's evolving. But it's this narrative that we put on ourselves a lot of times, I think.
We have a stronger sense of identity when we are celebrating our own culture, and I think that now it's become cool, and now people appreciate our culture, and now
It was always cool.
And that's how
mainstream, you know?
Yes, okay,
that's how
mainstream.
most of the designers and artists nowadays, like for example, they work with our culture. They work with Najdi geometry. They work with calligraphy.
Yeah.
مع الخط العربي or etc. We have this culture identity. And for example, Noor Riyadh, when it comes, they use innovation, technology, and light as a medium to add, and contemporary materials to add it to their work. And that's how it becomes, we stick to our culture, but in a more contemporary
Absolutely.
and more innovative way.
And I find it interesting as well. Before, there was always this idea of this like Islamic identity, Islamic when it comes to art, especially with things like calligraphy and things like that. But now it's even more specific. It's almost regional. It's Saudi, it's Hijazi, it's Najdi.
Yes,
it's,
absolutely.
you know what I mean? Which is super interesting because we're exploring all these different things that we didn't really give ourselves permission to explore before.
And we always, like, for example, focus, because we have the historical center, for example, the house where King Abdulaziz was born, and like اللي هو قصر المربع. We wanted to do a video projection and mapping on the facade. We were very careful with the curators who the artist اللي to work on this specific.
We saw that together.
Yeah, on this specific facade.
Because I could see her trying to remember.
Yeah, and when we saw the artists and we saw the proposals, I was like, guys, this wall is precious. Please just respect our culture. Respect لأنهم اللي جو يعني most of يعني they don't know what is this wall. It is precious. Please let us get a Saudi artist to do something beautiful with Najdi architecture, because the architecture is Najdi, to make a beautiful 3D mapping.
This is the one with Ali
Reza.
إيه مرة كان شيء رائع.
Because this artwork, it was so beautiful and so spectacular. His Excellency Ibrahim Sultan, it was during the opening of the metro. He was like, because we want to have a tour with all the ministers of the country, I want this specific work في محطة قصر الحكم on the very big wall. So within 2 days, literally, projections, يلا عشان بس نحط this beautiful, amazing work by Al
It should be all year round.
But the projectors was on the way of the visitors flow. That's why. But every art piece or every artist and designer, they have a story behind every piece or every work they do. And this is like just one of the stories.
I believe in a few years' time, already started building out what we're doing here in Saudi Arabia, including all of us. Eventually, people will come and start learning what we have done, how did we do it, can they do it, or is it only for us? Because it's going to be a successful story.
It is. But what is the thing that's lacking?
Well, that's
It's a
difficult.
political question, Hatem.
That's difficult.
Well, then Princess Nourah.
Now you want me to answer it.
Alhamdulillah, we have an abundance of creativity.
We have an abundance of creativity. We have the, alhamdulillah ya Rab, the means with which to bring in the support we need to implement things. I think what we lack is experience to do it ourselves. Not the desire and not the talent, but the actual experience. We're remedying that very quickly though. I mean, I'm going to get into things like the way education is changing and the way it's addressing these things, the way they're literally reimagining. I was at Jam'at al-Imam Abd al-Rahman talking to the Dean, and the Dean was saying, we are reimagining what education is.
Wow.
Because completely throwing the book out the window and reimagining what it can be for a new generation. And for me, that's what all the universities are doing now, because in the same way that as a country we saw the wall of change coming, and we needed to diversify, and we needed to change, and we needed to open up, I think, that second wave is in education, because now we've got all of these entities up and running, and we have a generation that needs employment, that needs experience, that needs to be able to step into these roles, these megacities, these big projects and everything. So I think it's I won't say it's lacking, but I'd say it's something that we're working on. And I think that's also something that I'm very proud of as a Saudi, looking at everything that's happening around me. Because I came from a time when nothing happened.
Been there.
Nothing happened for a long time. And now sometimes it can get, for some of us, I mean, of my generation, it can get very kind of confusing, all of these things happening at once everywhere. Sometimes it's
overwhelming.
It is overwhelming. But I always say we're a startup, and we operate as a startup.
Allow me to summarize what you're saying. We need more building blocks. That's it. Yeah. And we're doing it.
We're building the building blocks.
And we're building it. So it's there.
It's there.
Until we reach the moon.
I think, I love that. I think the journey after graduation and working, there's, like we had discussed at Vivian Westwood, of apprenticeships.
Yeah.
We have an apprenticeship program.
I know, I read about that. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Yeah, tell us more about,
No, you need to hear. It's amazing what they're doing.
Mohammed Ashi got to where he is. He worked with Elisa for many years, and there's no shortcut. So tell us more about this,
We saw after 2021, the first edition, a lot of applicants just sending emails throughout the platform of RCRC, as they're requesting from RCRC to be involved in Noor Riyadh. So we added to the project, why don't we have an apprenticeship program where we choose 10 individuals, and these 10 needs to be graduates, artists. We started with artists, and then now we had 4 categories. Four categories: artists, curation, communication, and operations. Because there are a lot of engineers, they want to know how did this piece was hung on the Kingdom Tower, the highest sculpture, and just hung.
It's amazing.
So
Princess Nourah, she mentioned the magic number 4. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. So every year we have these apprentices, and we encourage them to go in different departments and just learn. After them learning, they apply and they get jobs. One of the apprentices was a participant artist in Noor Riyadh back in 2023. So she was an apprentice in 22, and she was an artist in 23. And a lot of the artists that was apprentices, I saw their proposals, proposing to be artists in Noor Riyadh. And that's amazing, seeing them just grow and being able to get out of their comfort zone. Because when you graduate, sometimes you get afraid or scared, because I've been there. Where to apply, where to go, but with this opportunity that we're giving them, they're having the chance to.
So I think it's the exposure. That's very, very important.
Yes.
And that's also where
practice combined with theory.
practice combined with theory, with exposure, with, you know, that whole learning experience. So where you're doing that with graduates, we're doing that with universities, with undergraduates. So we have apprentices who come in from the universities and work with us on our projects. So they work for Wizard al-Thaqafa, they work for Saudi Airlines, they work for all these different projects, and they get real-time experience. And we have 2 now that we've kept, and others that go on to other jobs elsewhere, and I'm very proud of all of them.
I have 2 that I kept. From,
you know, because they become part of the team. Absolutely. And they become really indispensable. And it's these opportunities. And when Ammar was saying the building blocks, that's what it is. It's these opportunities.
And connecting the dots.
Connecting the dots.
And we're very proud of you, Princess Noorah. I remember how it's come full circle. Remember when you had that corner at Design Week?
I remember. And I remember you sitting, I have to tell you, he came.
I was with you,
I have to tell you. I remember? He came from Dubai. He spent a whole day. He sat there with a young designer, and she had brought her portfolio, which was this thick, I swear to God. And he sat and went through every page. It
was my pleasure, of course.
Every single page, and gave her an honest critique on every single design. And nobody I know other than Ammar, who had like the table and was holding court all day with anyone who came by. Ammar was like pulling people up from the crowd to come and sit down. But it was again this community. It was this community that we had, which was fantastic.
Bless Basma for also starting this movement. I remember Abadia, I saw it from a mile away. That was like years ago.
Do you remember?
I was like, what is this? I love this. You know?
Remember my swings?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pendulum.
I love the swing. I wanted one. That I still want one.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Ammar, what would you say you're most passionate about? Are you your interior designer, curator, art? What's your passion?
At the moment, my health and my cats. I'm sorry, I am off the grid for another year until I make sure that I can kick people properly.
Okay, because there's a question that is very much resonates with the house of Piaget, and it's color. You know, how does color affect you when you're creating or when you're curating?
Okay, color has got, for me, it creates images, and with these images becomes words and languages. I have this ability to sense the color. What is it singing? What is it stoking and screaming out loud and all this? And I would listen to the color. And if the color says it's a clear statement, I would work on that one. And the same thing, I can work with people even if they're silent. I love that, if they don't talk much. And if they talk, that's fine. But when they talk, they have to show their true colors. So in the gemstones, again, I am fascinated with aquamarine. No matter, you tell me diamonds, you tell me this and that. Whenever I see aquamarine, I think I become paralyzed. Why? There's a certain energy in this color. So how I studied it professionally, I became more knowledgeable to understand what color really means and the reflection and the meaning, and how can I take that meaning and translate it into a design. For example, a piece of rock or a color that is just solid there, the word that emits from it, these words create shapes, and that's how I built my design. In curating art exhibition, in my theater, in the way I layer my look.
Your interior design. My
interior design, and I have to say a big shout out for the wonderful person sitting in there in the corner. Can I say his name?
Of course.
Amir al-Bahouth, who the first one who pointed out to me, Ammar, you have your own personal brand. I'm like, I didn't look for it.
You do.
I just built it up because I know this speaks so. It's like listening to an orchestra. It has to work together. it's like looking at a room. The room has to work. It's a maestro work. So it all starts from the colors. Once I understood the color language and I can talk to them, I can create anything I want.
Princess Nourah, color association with culture. I mean, as the CEO of the Art of Heritage, you have how many references? 50,000 references?
57,000 references.
Yeah. Embroideries, colors.
Colors, doors, boxes, rugs, maps, images, so many things you couldn't actually imagine, and it's a lot to take in. And I'm someone I'm only on my third year of being able to explore in the way that I couldn't before, and there's a lot of.
And you're already collaborating with Vivienne Westwood.
I put that down to the quality of the work of the ladies who were there before me. So I maybe opened doors, but they stepped through it. And one of my proudest moments, I have to say, is, and those of you who were there with me saw it, when they came and they attended the fashion show and saw their work on the fashion runway. And I think that's a moment I will never forget.
It's a moment of pride, of course.
Of course, it's a moment of pride. But I'll tell you something. There's one lady in particular who is responsible for the choices of the embroidery and deciding where to put it, and she's our head designer. And when I hugged her afterwards to congratulate her, she whispered in my ear, "Next year, just us." And that's the Saudi spirit.
That's the Saudi spirit, absolutely.
Very much, I think. There's a lot. I'm someone who's constantly learning these references. I'm also a jewelry designer, so color has always been a big part. And Ammar was talking about gemstones. You need to really look into Paraiba tourmalines if you like aquamarines. And I think there's color, culture, sound, scent, music, all of these things. If you are a creative, first of all, if you are a creative, I'm not someone who believes that design is limited to one thing. So if you can design here, then you can design there. I design objects, jewelry. I design systems.
As well?
Yes, who knew? Okay. I design like systems, solutions through research. I design, I think now maybe some kind of DNA for a brand. But I think a creative is a creative. And what are the building blocks that you use to create? It's emotion, it's sound, music. For me, it's color. And now, increasingly, culture. Whereas it really wasn't the core before, but because it's opened up so many doors for me now, that it's really become something central.
Absolutely.
Especially in Saudi, by the way. Like, who knew that we had this beautiful lavender color that just... I swear, we knew about this color a long time ago, but we didn't see it. We didn't notice it.
We didn't associate it.
Associated, thank you. So having this color, when Diriyah had their own color with Pantone, اللي هو the sand mud houses color, which now people are using it in a minimal kind of
Did you notice
contemporary
in
architecture.
the fashion show, a lot of the colors were the pinks, the sands, the browns, the
browns.
These are our
the
colors.
Sand colors. So these are the colors. Now, that's how culture, Saudi heritage is coming to the topic every time.
I mean,
Absolutely.
this is how you envisage color as culture as well. You know,
Yeah.
for sure.
Not to forget the colors of the sea. Okay, we have colors of sand, color of plants, color
And of course,
rocks.
the green is very much resonant with Saudi Arabia, you know,
Absolutely.
and of course.
Yeah.
And I think that's something as well that even those of us born and raised here, I don't think we ever truly thought about the variety that exists. I mean, I remember saying to people, you know, Saudi Arabia is bigger than Europe. but I didn't really think about it. It's bigger, and we have a few people here in the back who have traveled it more than all of us, so they could tell us a thing or two about the variety.
Yes, I mean, as they say, variety is the spice of life, and Saudi is, what people don't realize is it's so multifaceted, and it has so many different elements that people don't realize.
It's abundant.
Abundant, yeah, for sure. So, Ammar, what's next for Ammar? What kind of projects you have?
After the cats and the health.
Yes, yeah.
I have 10 loose projects that I have been building up for the last part of my life, 4 or 5 years, and I believe I'll take 2 or 3 at the beginning. Specifically, I have a book, a storyline, so again, going back to the theater, and I want to make, it's called the Roshan al-Ta'ir, and it's about المشربية حبة Roshan, and they flew in love. Enough?
Enough.
No.
Never.
No, more.
Because I want to take it into, I would like to, of course, it's a storyline, and it cross-pan all the Arab countries. It doesn't start, it starts in Jeddah, but it cross-pan all of the Arab countries, and then it goes back to its roots, trying to find out other important love stories.
It's beautiful.
I was inspired by I didn't realize that. We've heard about Qais of Layla and all the other poets. Are like, when they listed them all up, there are 10 top Arab poets who are actually were residing in the land of Arabia. And I'm like, there's a lot of passion here. So let's make passion. But this time bringing the fantasy element of the Roshan and Mashrabiya when they fall in love. I want to make it into an animation. It will be involved into fashion, furniture, lighting, and so on as a lifestyle. Because once you spark the creativity in someone else's mind, they will be able to create more sparks. So it's not, to me, you ask me what's next to me. What's next to me is to spark other people.
It's amazing.
Maybe it becomes something in Noor Riyadh. Just saying.
A beautiful love story, trust me.
Absolutely. Princess Nourah, mashallah, I know there's a plethora of projects that you're working on at the moment. But
Actually, at heart, I'm a designer. And although I'm working on a lot of things, and I'm blessed, I really, really am very, very lucky in as much in Adhlal, I have an amazing team that are able to do so much. And then at Art of Heritage as well, there is an amazing team that are able to do so much. That I'm actually looking at how to experiment a bit more with creativity. So I'm looking at now moving into larger objects than jewelry. So to continue with the jewelry, but also I'm looking at starting sculpture.
mashallah.
And I'm also starting a new brand. Yeah, just because there's not enough things to do. So yeah, so
is it a interior design brand or a fashion brand? Or?
So it's actually it's a cabinet of curiosities. So what I want to do is what I've been able to do the last couple of years is I've had access to the creative community and the design community, and I've started to see where art, interior, crafts, artisanship, and design all kind of mix and intermingle. And I really want to encourage that. So I will create a space that is just for that, and that works with all the designers that exists for Saudiya, and kind of sees what happens when you get a few of them in the room and let the magic happen.
It's amazing. We can't wait.
Neither can I.
Nouf, what's next for Nouf?
What's next? As you mentioned, in my opinion, Saudi art and design in general and creativity, it's we are confident and we are rooted with our culture, and we love collaborations. Okay, and it's collaborative. So basically, I want the Saudi talent to be known globally and internationally. We have so much to show the world, and we are creating our own rhythm. We are not following anyone's trends or global trends. Yeah, we are creating our own. If you just mentioned you are doing this new thing, and I'm sure there is, it's our own, it's our identity.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Fantastic.
I think that's the future.
Now we want to know, Hatem Alakeel has moved from, look, we're not going to talk about the fashion part, mashallah, Toby, that was, but you still have that resonating name. Now you're moving fast in the podcast and in the
Forums.
forum. Now this is new.
This is a new product. It's under the GemsOfArabia platform, and it's about community. Really, I mean, we've been doing the Harrods Hive every year, and brands want a piece of it. And so I said, you know what? Why not? It's a beautiful way for us all to get together, and we're so grateful to have you all with us. Any excuse to be around my creative community, I'm here.
When can we expect the next one?
Soon, inshallah. Soon. Yeah.
How big do you want the forum to be?
والله شوف يعني
I'm interviewing him now.
with Harrods it's shown that people want to come for creativity. People want to come with Adhlal, for example. People are ready to come just to explore other people's creativity and to connect. And in the end, it's also about networking on a level where it's not just about networking, it's also about sharing ideas, sharing communities. To me, I've always been very passionate about that.
GemsOfArabia Forum, is it going to be just for people who have really achieved higher goals or striving people?
We actually, even in our podcast conversations, we actually like to have emerging with established and people who are even starting up, because the idea is to create this sense of inclusivity. We're always open for people who are, curious.
I'm just going to highlight that we've had an ongoing conversation for about 2 or 3 years now about something that's just focused on youth.
Yeah.
And creativity.
Absolutely. And I mean, the sky's the limit, really.
Yeah.
And what I like about, I love being a designer, but what I was focusing on my PR, my marketing.
Yeah.
Now I'm able to focus on other people, and I find it to be much more rewarding. I like to plant seeds and watch them grow. I
Absolutely.
like to also kind of, promote people who are amazing. And that's why I call it authenticity, because, Saudi is so rich. And Saudi is also very inclusive. And I have friends from all over the world. And I tell them, Saudi is for us, and Saudi is also open for other people, other countries, other cultures. So.
And I always find it funny when other countries claim that they are the melting pot. Because I've never found a country that's quite like us. Jeddah an easy example.
For sure.
It's an easy example of how cultures actually meld together and live alongside each other and with each other, yes, as opposed to kind of being segregated into little places. And so I think that's something that is really our strength, because our identity is bigger than the color of our skin and who we are and where we come from originally. It's that thing that unites us now. So.
Absolutely, and identity is definitely the word. I don't see why we need to mimic the West in anything that we do. But thank you so much for being part of this panel. I'm really grateful. Please, let's give a round of applause for this amazing panelists.
And not to forget, Noor Riyadh, 20th of November until the 6th of December. You are all welcome. 3 locations, as I mentioned. We're going to announce beautiful things in the upcoming weeks, and I cannot wait. We're going to announce the artists that are participating with us. So yeah, I hope you enjoy.
Yeah, we can't wait.
I always wonder what's the biggest capacity of artists that Noor Riyadh can take?
So basically, the first year we had 120 artists. The second year, Jana توجيه to make it bigger. So we had 200 artists throughout 40 locations. بعدين قلنا لا نتحمس شوي, please. Let's make it more smaller. So we had the rest of the years 120, and then 60, and then now is 60. So we have every year it's gonna be 60 artists throughout 4 locations max. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Also wanted to thank the House of Piaget for trusting me and giving me this opportunity. It's literally a tailor-made concept that jewelry brand such as esteemed Piaget has taken on with me, and I'm grateful for my community for supporting me and for being part of this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For you, thank you.